You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, like, if the Sixers play Toronto, I'm thinking about going to a game. I don't want to see Joel Embiid sit in the Toronto game, away game. Like, sit the Toronto home game if you're going to sit a game. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So that way the fans that don't get to see you every day can see you. But yeah, I think they should keep the schedule the way it is, 82 games. I'd like how they space it out more, like they started it earlier, so now there's less back-to-back and shit. I think we're getting a better product. But just on top of that, man, just like, I don't know, just the sport itself, like the fluidity, you know what I'm trying to say.
Fluidity?
Yeah, there we go. That and then also, like, we've been through like 3 different eras of basketball we was able to see.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like, we went through when did you start watching basketball? Like, really, like following it.
Thomas Adro invited me over to his house. He was a Phoenix Suns fan, and they was in the playoffs first in the Spurs. I was like, okay, I like the other team, and that's when I became a Spurs fan. So that was like 2006 or
5 or 6. Okay, so yeah, I started watching basketball like heavy. I'll say around like right around like when LeBron and Wade entered into the picture, around like 2003.
Okay,
but even before that, like, I was dabbling in. I became a Sixers fan when Iverson was on the team. So that's what like drew me in, you know. And I had the Iverson gear, the jerseys, the headbands.
That's a good player to be a fan of.
You know what I mean? So that drew me to the Sixers. I've been a fan since. But so we went through that era where Shaq was dominating. Like, I really didn't appreciate Shaq at that age because I didn't understand. But then, like, I'm able to go back. And I'm like, yo, Shaq was the most dominant player I've ever seen in my life. He's literally ragdolling grown men.
True.
Like, like Tim Duncan. One of the greatest power forward of all time, in my opinion. Top 5 player of all time, in my opinion. Shaq was killing him. You couldn't do nothing with no man that's that big. The dude was 350 pounds and 7'1".
Yeah. And sprinting.
And was fat, like athletic as shit.
I barely see people 6'3" over that is coordinated.
Right. It didn't make no sense. He's one of those people that just don't make sense. Like, yo, how are you a human being? How are you doing this at this sport? This should be illegal. And then you see players like LeBron James. Dude is 6'8", 260 pounds. He's the fastest, biggest, strongest dude on the court. Dominating.
How old is he?
Now he's old. Now he's like 34, 35.
He's still impressive.
He's still a beast.
He be confusing me. I'm like, what is this thing? Dude, he slowed down. How is he still dunking like this?
Right.
And if you're not even a big fan of basketball, going to the games is a really nice experience.
Yes, it really is.
That arena, you like inside of a building, and they playing music, and you can feel the bass, and you can feel the fire coming out the ceiling. He's like, yo,
they're doing the introductions
crazy.
and shit.
It's beautiful. The tickets
and they got
everything,
pricey,
but
you're able to interact with everything. Like the halftime shows they got going on,
Yeah.
those is lit. You got the t-shirt tosses that they be doing and shit, like trying to catch a t-shirt. Like, all that shit is lit.
It's a definitely an experience to get a taste of.
It's a good time, man. It really is a good time. And then even like before the game, after the game, like you cheering with the team or against the team.
If it's a close game, woo, it's so much emotion around you, and you in emotion. You might not even know who playing, but you in emotion with them. Like, oh snaps,
that joint is lit.
Woo!
And that thing, and it's not just NBA basketball. That goes for like all levels of basketball. Because I remember like watching high school games. I remember there's the high school tournament. This was about 5 years ago. There was a tournament at Buff State that Niagara Falls High School was at.
Okay.
And it was just like teams just playing, like a bunch of teams in Western New York just playing. And I remember like not even knowing the two schools playing, but it was a close ass game, and the shit was lit.
Okay.
Yo, this little scrawny white dude nailing threes to bring his team back.
Damn.
And we going crazy. Oh, he about to hit another one. Oh, he hit another one. We going nuts. He had the opportunity to win the game. You know he about to hit it. You know he about to hit the shot. Dude came and blocked the shot. Joint was crazy.
Wow.
We going nuts over high school basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just I don't know, man. The sport of basketball is just something different.
Being from Niagara Falls and the basketball culture here.
Yeah.
Being in high school with like Johnny Flynn, I think I made it into high school.
Yeah.
I was a sophomore.
We was freshmen when he's a senior. We went to school with Johnny Flynn. We saw Paul Harris like dominating. Like, think about the people like Devon Marshall.
Yeah.
He was a fucking monster.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Just players like that. Mike Carson, dudes that we went to school with, they played in college and stuff like that.
And it's like
the rust presses.
The level that it was at was ridiculous. So I wanted to play basketball, but I would have to move because it was just too nice. It's too deep in Niagara Falls at that time. I was like, wow.
Niagara Falls is definitely a basketball we just produce, man. Niagara Falls, we produce great athletes.
And for what reason? I don't know.
It's crazy. Like the football teams, like I never understood how, like with the football teams, like we have the best cataract, like junior league football teams that just dominate. Everybody dominate. But then they get to high school and then they just fall off. You know what I mean? That joint was always weird to me.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird.
That cataract was different from
Cataract
high
was
school.
dominating. Cataract was dominating.
When I got into the All-Stars, they was like undefeated. Seven Suns, 7 stars, something All-Stars. And the people that was running it, and they was good coaches. We were just bad kids that was really good at football. That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Man. Now I wish, going back to Niagara Falls basketball, some of the there's like 3 promising kids that they don't even play for the high school no more. Like Roddy, he just got an offer from Oklahoma. He plays for not Louisville, Lewiston.
Oh,
yeah, he plays for Lewiston. Politics, high school politics, man.
Wow.
Jalen Bradbury, I think he's going to Park. Willie Lightfoot, I believe his name is.
It shouldn't be that complicated.
Yeah, he went to a school in Kansas.
Is it getting that serious?
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but these kids should be playing together. They did a documentary on them.
Oh, okay.
It's called The Falls.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen it
yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. They showed on ESPNU.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Paul Harris kind of put it together and stuff like that. It was cool. Yeah, it was real cool.
Shout out to Johnny Flynn.
Mm-hmm. Man. It's unfortunate, but it kind of is what it is. Yo, you travel a lot, like to like different countries, right?
Yeah, I got my passport, and why did I? Oh, why did I? I was here in this apartment. It wasn't too long ago. I got into languages. Why? Oh, I failed Spanish class. I didn't fail. I got like 65. Mr. Martinez. Didn't you talk to him recently?
Mr. Martinez?
Mm-hmm. From the high school, the Spanish teacher? Mm-mm. Oh, I thought he was on here.
Matt Johnson did.
Okay, he talked to
Matt Johnson did an interview with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was teaching us Spanish, and I was just not good at it. But I found myself, I was like, why would I let this half knowledge I got the base knowledge of this language. I was like, let me see if I can continue with it. So over the past couple of years, I started to learn Spanish and continue to teach myself Spanish, and then met a lot of pen pals, and I was like, I'm an adult. I got money. I can get a passport and go where I want. And I went to Mexico City, met my friend down there, and I've just been orchestrating this travel for myself just to kind of get out and see the world.
Yeah.
So I've been in Mexico City, I've been in Lima, Peru, and Medellin, Colombia, and of course Canada. So is that 5 countries? Well, USA don't count, but hopefully I get to more, and hopefully I keep growing.
Yeah.
I'm slowing down now. I'm tired of being so bouncy.
Yeah.
But seeing a third world country is humbling. Most of the world wash their clothes with their hands. They don't use washer or dryer. You
know, as Americans, even like poor Americans,
got it
good.
Yeah,
got it better than we realize.
Well, I always say it's no reason to be like poor in America, but I know people got their reasons, but it makes no sense to me when like there's so much garbage that's edible, like that's in good condition, food, I meant to say.
Right.
And clothes that's pretty much free, shelter is free, so much assistance, and it's not like that everywhere. You literally struggle for like $20 a day in a lot of these countries. Mm-hmm. And
clean water.
Yeah.
Think about that. Yo, I can walk to the kitchen right now and get a glass of clean, drinkable water.
It's kind of crazy because Niagara Falls got good tap water, and we should. And like when I went to California, it's a desert. It's powder coming up the tap, pretty much.
Oh, shit.
And Flint is a real life thing. I was over there. I was like, wow, the water was coming out yellow.
Damn.
Yeah, sometimes that water is not the best, but like Niagara Falls got some good water. But at least you still can drink it. I can still drink that powdery California water.
Right.
But like in Mexico, they tell you don't drink the water. And don't drink the water. My friend from Mexico, she got like kidney stones. I mean, she got to buy a bottle of water and make sure she's on top of it. It's not as easy as just running the tap water and staying hydrated.
Right. Think about that for a minute, y'all. Think about that as a listener. If you listen to this episode, think about that. That's how fortunate we are.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we can always be better, and the goal is always strive to be better. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I look at life as I get older, and I was like, you know what? I don't appreciate a lot of shit. Like I do now.
Mm-hmm.
But back when I was like 23, 22, 23, 24, like I felt like, yo, I don't got this, and this. Like I'm
looking
not,
at everything you don't got.
Yeah, and I see people like, okay, they go out and get it. I'm like, yo, that's cool. I'm not going to knock anybody that want to thrive and get those type of luxurious things. Like, you want to have the big house, you want to have the luxury car, whatever you want to do. If, that's your goal to thrive in for life. I appreciate that, and I hope you get it. But I kind of grew a new appreciation for life where it's like, yo, first of all, my health is number one out of anything. Like, cause I can have this, and this, but if I'm not healthy, that don't mean shit.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like just physical health, mental health, my spiritual well-being, just everything I try to focus on is about how I feel, my health-wise, I should say. And then like even financial health, because you got to have a certain amount of money to sustain a certain like lifestyle that you want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm the same thing. I made a life priority list for myself, and the number one thing is my diet.
Yeah,
I came to terms that this is the most important thing. Is who I am, and who I am is what I consume. Mm-hmm. And it don't even sound right when I say it, but
no, it sounds perfect. That old saying, "You are what you eat," that shit is so real. Think about this.
I wish I could explain it in a different way that makes sense.
Think about this. Have you ever eaten a meal that's like good, like it tastes great, but it's so bad for you that you just got to go take a nap afterwards?
Oh,
that's not healthy. That's not something we should be doing every day.
Yeah.
Specifically black people, because we do that shit a lot. Like we got a name for it. We call it the itis. Mm-hmm. You should be catching the itis after every meal. Like you taking a nap after eating a heavy meal should not be a thing. Like food is supposed to bring you energy. It's supposed to give you life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But growing up in like black households, and this is how I grew up, like, my mom cooked Sunday dinners and then she made sure I was fed well. I was fucking fat as shit as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I always ate good. I was never hungry, but like I'll eat and then I take a nap and like I feel like shit. Like now I notice is I buy my own food and I'm cooking for myself and whatnot. Like if I eat like a fried chicken meal and cornbread and collard greens how I normally would, I know I'm gonna feel like shit. I know I ain't gonna want to do nothing, but now I know. Like I didn't have that knowledge as a kid, but now like my main food is to try to bring me life. So that's why I'm eating more veggies. If I do get meat, it's usually lean meat where I'm cooking it how I want to cook it. I'm baking it or I'm pan frying it in like olive oil. I'm not deep frying it. Mm-hmm. Things like that. Preparing my food differently.
There's a periodic table of elements in our science class when we was growing up, and they say we're stardust, and that's what we are made of. That's what we are. We burn energy and we get rid of some molecules and atoms and the elements, and we need to replace them. So when we eating, there's literally packets of those elements around the world, and they come in the simplest forms, and we can ingest them and replace the ones that we lost. So when I eat a carrot, that's a packet of elements that I'm using to replace the ones I lost. So if I'm consuming these complicated structures and bad food with all these ingredients, my body's like, oh, here we go again. Now I got to put this over here, break this down. It's like, why can't you give me the simple stuff?
Yeah.
And it's literally packets of easy access. Our body recycles our whole body every 7 years. About all our atoms is replaced. So we're essentially new. So if you ate garbage for 7 years, you're a piece of
shit. He really is.
That's why diet, and that's
essential.
That's the brain is too fragile for me not to eat good.
One of those. I'm glad nowadays where like social media is so prevalent and it's so easy to gather information. Nowadays, you're starting to see more of a shift towards that. Mm-hmm. But I want to see more of it. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my cousin the other day, And I kind of started to get into it. Like I asked him, I was like, yo, how often do you eat fast food? How often do you go to a fast food restaurant?